What's going on, guys? Keen Flamer back with another video, and this time we have the rematch between EricBR and GreenSeasSquash. And this game again is gonna be showcasing the new build order that GreenSeasSquash came up with. If you haven't seen it, the last two videos about it, go check it out. I'll put it in the description below. So basically, what you do for those that don't know, you send the first two villagers to the wood line, right, to the tree, and then you delay your hunting dogs. You send the dwarf right away to gold with another gatherer, and then once you have 170 wood, you move your wood villagers to the food, to the hunt, and then you get hunting dogs. And this way, it'll be super efficient, and you can actually get 3 ox carts out before uh, before you advance, and you have still a super fast advance. So before, I don't think anyone did this before. So I mean, just in 20 years, right? Like no one has came up with this. I'm pretty sure. So just to see some new build orders like 20 years after the release of the game, it's just insane to me. And it also just shows that I think a lot of people, they should just go in a game against the computer and just try to optimize their build orders. I guess there just wasn't a need for it for some gods. Like there was no need to evolve the meta because they could already deal with some matchups. Like they already knew what to do. But there's no harm in just to keep improving your gameplay, right? Right? Like to keep moving the meta forward, which GreenSeasSquash did in just like an hour of brainstorming build orders. So that is pretty exciting. So yeah, he's just gonna send the 9 to food, and then he's gonna send a few dwarves to gold, and he's gonna make a temple any moment now, which is extremely fast, by the way. And for you, for all the Norse players watching, right? Like this is a rough map for Norse and Odin against Zeus. I've done some videos on it in the past, and this has always just been a hard matchup. Like, how the fuck do I beat Zeus on Alfheim or like other maps like this, right? Just like the Hoplite Athena Rush with the Tox in the back. It's just so hard to deal with, right? But GreenSeasSquash is showing us the master class how to do it. And EricBR, man, like he's no joke. He's no joke. He's a very good Zeus player. So this is, in my opinion, a very worthy opponent to uh, to see how well it works, right? So there it is. He has the 2 ravens out. He's gonna look for the enemy hunt, and just like the last video, he is gonna make a hearse here, and he is gonna send his Ulfsark and hearse out right away to the enemy hunt. So I just don't see Norse players doing this enough. Like first of all, right, like I said in the last video, they don't advance fast enough, and they never send their Ulfsark or Herster out right away to push someone off the hunt, right? I've only seen like Shelty do it, and maybe like a few other players. I'm pretty sure Soup does it, and GreenSeasSquash does it, of course, right? But not many Norse players actually do this. Like they'll keep their Herster, their Ulfsark at home, and they'll just sit there doing nothing basically. But like you can put the pressure on immediately, like this, like you can start harassing. Like that's the benefit of playing Norse. Like you can up so fast because of the ox carts, and like there's such like good timings you can do. So I think a lot more players should start doing this, and just look how annoying this is, right? And like he can drop the fire forest down soon as well. So just look at his map control, like like you guys cannot tell me Odin isn't strong, dude. Like just look at this. This is so good. And he's gonna lose a villager right away. He's gonna lose his storehouse. Like this just messes with the Greek timing completely. Like it's just so hard to play against, right? So just like the last video, he's gonna drop down the longhouse at home with the second hearse here, and then is just gonna keep harassing with the Ulfsark. Like, look how much value he gets out of just one Ulfsark. Like, he pushed him off hunt, or the wood right now off hunt as well. And out of fucking pressure, he's just gonna bolt the Valkyrie too, dude. So he's getting so much value so early already. And Honestly, it's not that simple to advance that early on this map for Greek as it is for Norse, right? So you gotta take advantage of that. This is like the time window where you can punish the Greek player. So you should really do it all every game, you know? Anyway, so he's gonna keep harassing the villagers. Just look how much pressure he is applying, man. Like those ravens are giving so much insight. It's basically like having map hack, like for real, dude. A flying scouting unit for free. Like the moment you build a temple, you get two of them. Like that's OP, dude. Like if you guys have ever played League of Legends, that's like getting free wards. It's basically your trinket, so you gotta use it, dude. But yeah, once you advance, by the way, you do have to adjust your economy right away. Like you have to send some more dwarves to gold because usually you only advance with 3 or 4 dwarves, right? Then you have to adjust your wood economy a little bit, and you always have to adjust your food economy as well. I would say 7 is a little bit low on food. Normally, I think 8 would be better, but it really depends on which units you're making. I would say with Herser and Double Calf, you definitely want to have at least 8 on food. Uh, but you also do have to adjust your gold economy right away as well. Anyway, that's enough of the economy, right? So he does actually lose to Herser, and he has the gold lions, the role player gold lions, right? Uh, but yeah. So Eric right away, man, like normally you see like the Greek player like being the aggressor, right? But this time it's actually the Norse player, so pretty cool to see. And this also allows Greenseasquash just to hunt all over the map because he has the pressure, right? Like Eric has no say in what to do this game. Like he is on the back foot. So until the Greek army catches up in population, Greenseasquash has like a big advantage. He can just be all over the map. He can take all of the hunt, and that way he can actually get an army advantage to hold on to the advantage, right? And just look like you don't even have to get villager kills, right? Like he gets one here, but just getting the pressure in, like just wasting your opponent's APM, the action per minute, like the clicks he's doing every second, just wasting his attention. It's so good. It's so good. Like you just have to have the high APM, just raid your opponent, and then you can basically have the whole map for yourself. Like if you apply more pressure than your opponent does, eventually you're gonna be out on top, right? So he's gonna check the hunt here, I think, right? I mean, it would be kind of funny, honestly. Like if Eric was here, like that'd be kind of random. Like that's something you see in like 1400 games, like like some noob would be hunting like right here in the corner, you know. But yeah, so he's actually just gonna hunt it himself. So like, dude, I gotta pause this for a second, dude. Like, look at this. Like, he was done hunting here, right? And he switches from hunt to the wood, and then he sends his wood villagers to this hunt right here. So he actually reduces the walk time completely. Like I see a lot of new players, like a lot of beginners, they would actually walk from this point to here and just waste so much idle time, so much walking time. But you can make stuff a lot more efficient if you're just a little bit creative, right? So there it is. So for Norse players, by the way, you only need around 10 on gold, 10, 11, maybe 12, probably 11 or 10, right? And then the rest, especially on Odin, right? You just RQ dwarves and getters to your cows, and then you can get a really, really good advanced time for heroic, right? For Loki players, though, I'll probably only do dwarves to pigs, and then later on, you send those dwarves to wood and gold, right? But for Odin, Odin is a little bit less cheesy, so I would actually like macro a little bit more properly, and then actually send gatherers to food as well, right? But yeah, look at this. Like even just attacking the building, like it's gonna keep your opponent busy, right? Like Green Sea Squash is really good at doing that. Just it you don't have to get villager kills, right? Like you just have to do something, like something to keep your opponent busy until you can get where you want to be, which in Greenseasquash, his case is going heroic, right? But you do you do actually want to have some kind of defense or information that your opponent is moving to your hunt, right? This right, because otherwise you do get into a situation like this where your opponent pressures you off hunt, and then it can get really nasty really fast, right? But honestly, this is okay. Like he's already going skatey, so the pressure is a little bit too late from Eric, right? So he already has the food to go heroic, right? So he is already halfway almost, and he has his army kind of in a corner. But it's probably better to just wait a little bit, right? And just wait for the skatey and then go for the all-in win, right? So he's even walling. He knows exactly what's going on. Like Eric cannot get a gold mine like unseen, basically. But yeah, as you can see, like he switched the dwarves that were helping get the food for heroic, right? He switched those to gold. Like that's the right move. That's what you want to do. And then the gatherers can stay on food, and then eventually you do want to move some gatherers to wood rights to get the town centers, to get the farms going. It really depends though how much food you have left in your base, right? But at this point, Greenseasquash is just worrying about all, about this, only this, right? So here he casts the frost. He's gonna secure his large gold mine, and then I mean, honestly, to me, guys, like it looks like a GG. Like you're in heroic, and he's even gonna kind of fucking wall his army in, right? Just need another wall right here, and then it just looks like GG to me. Like the hill fort is in range, right? It's shooting down the Greek army as well. So all in all, dude, this just looks like GG. And yeah, I mean, you see the difference though, right? Like Odin has all the cows, and Eric is already transitioning to farms, right? Like that's just already like a lot of wood spent that Greenseasquash did not have to spend yet, which can be spent on the hill fort, by the way, like stuff like that. And yeah, Eric is gonna try and cast the restoration to get out of this position, but at the same time, the heavy throne X-Men are there, and like this army of Eric is just gonna die. Like most of them are just like some of them are gonna run away, but he lost so many units there, and now Greenseasquash can just go for the gold star, right? So let's just fast play this until the end because I don't even have to look at a timer to know that this is over very, very soon. He's gonna take the town center, right? And there it is, yeah. He's gonna he was gonna go for the gold star and that's it. So yeah, I hope this video was useful to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.